Welcome to Code Software Application Academy. In this tutorial, you will learn list comprehension Python. List comprehension is an elegant way to define and create lists based on the existing lists. By the end of the lesson, learners should be able to create lists with range function, manipulate list comprehension. Now, let's quickly dive into our tutorial. This is list comprehension in Code Software Application Learning Platform. If you want to access our learning platform, go to any browser and type codethinkers.org. Press enter. Go to beginners and click Python programming. Locate list comprehension and click start. When you enroll on the tutorial, you have this interface. This is an explanation of what list comprehension is all about. As you can see, we are going to start with this tutorial. This is just a square of empty list. Then we get a range of numbers, that's from 0 to 9. Then we append the value of that number raised to the power of 2. Let's quickly go into our Python shell now. Let me a little bit minimize it so that you can see what you are doing. Okay. Now let's run this code and see how it is. So now we have a squares. Squares is equals to this. Press enter. Okay. So now we are going to iterate. We are going to use a for loop and iterate through the range of value. So here supply 10. Okay. Now this is squares, not append. So here is /2. So now let's print the square. Press enter. As you can see, what this code performs is this. Firstly, we declare a squares of empty list. We generated a range of numbers from 0 to 9. Then we append it into this list. But before we append it, each of the numbers is going to raise to the power of 2. The first one is 0. 0 raised to the power of 2 is 0. The second one is 1. 1 raised to the power of 2 is 1. The third one is 2. 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4. This one is 3. Raised to the power of 3 is 9. This is 4. Raised to the power of 4 is 16. Continuously till the last number, which is 9 raised to the power of 9 is 81. Then we append it into what? Empty list, which is squares. Now when we printed the squares, we are going to have this value inside. But this is partially a tedious process. With list comprehensions, we are going to see how list comprehensions is going to simplify all this complexity for us. This is to perform the same function here with list comprehension. As you can see, this is the code here. It is more precise, readable, and concise. Let's do it now. Let's define a square, a list now. This is squares, assign the value. Now we are going to look through. Then we say for x in the range of 10. So now this is the range. So now this value is x, so we are going to raise to the power of 2. Then we press enter. Now we have the first value 0 raised to the power of 2, which is 0. The second value 1 raised to the power of 2, which is 1. The third value 2 raised to the power of 2, which is 4. Let's see if the least comprehension is actually did what we want. So now let's print the squares. Yes, as you can see, our value here is the same. Our value here is the same. Yes, as you can see, the value here is the same with this. But this, as you can see, we first did what? Declare a squares with empty list, then we look through, then we append the value, then we do the performance of square here, then we append the value to these squares of empty list. But using list comprehension, it actually makes our work easier. What we just do is that we just write the squares, then we look through, then the value we get, we did it raised to the power of 2. Then when you print the squares, you're going to have this. How readable and concise it is. So list comprehension actually is our work. So let's go on and see how we can perform a conditional operation inside the list comprehension. As you can see, we have a number list here, and we get the range from 0 to 19. Then we test if each of the value, when you divide it by 2 and the result is equal to 0, then we print the value. This means we are going to print even numbers, because even numbers are numbers that when divisible by 2 and the result is the remainder is 0. So now let's do it now and see. This is numbers. Okay, in this case I'm going to use a okay, let me just use number list, assign the value to it. So here we have x in range of this, that is range 20. Okay, then now I'm going to test now if this x, when divisible by 2, the result is equals to 0. Press enter. Now when I print this value, when I print the list, it's a number list now. Yes, this is what we have. So now, as you can see, it has printed what? An even number for us using what? List comprehension. You can equally do to print an even number using the list comprehension. So let me actually click here, press enter, so that I can just change this one to not equals to. So what this code is doing here is this. Now we have a number list. Now we are going to iterate over each of the range of numbers starting from 0 to 19. And if then, in this case now I'm going to use if statement to test if each of the number is not divisible. When each of the number is divisible by 2 and the remainder is not equal to 0, which means the number is an even number. So let's print enter, and then let's print the value. See how it is. What are we printing? I'm printing a number list. Press enter. So as you can see, this is an odd number. So you can equally perform if statement inside the for loop. You can equally combine it with a range statement, range function like this. So this is just a simple example of using list comprehension for concise readability and specification. It's very easy to use. This is just a typical example of using what? List comprehension in Python. Don't forget to click the like buttons and subscribe to our channel for more tutorials like this. Thank you very much for listening.